Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy roundtable number 4. We have added to our wisdom today. Mr. Dennis has joined us. Nadia is not in the green room yet, but that's okay. She's slow, she's old, we forgive her. It's okay. Women are always late. What are you going to do? I'm always late. Welcome. Today's roundtable, as you can all read, is about Stonehenge and Easter Island. We'll do as much as we can. The more you deep dive, the more rabbit holes there are. We'll just touch on some highlights and see where it goes, see where Spirit leads us today. So without further ado, let's get these two old fogies in here, at least 2 of them. Rocco and Dennis. Welcome.
Hello.
Old fogey?
I didn't know if you could hear me laughing.
You want me to say that instead?
I think I'm probably older than Nadia.
Well,
coming from the first man.
This is true, Adam. You've been around.
That would be a dom.
We need you around.
Jazzing it up.
Yeah, we need you around for these round tables. You've been around longer than anybody else, so you've seen it all built. So, all right. Nadia says she's here. Of course, I have to resend a link to her. Of course. Will you gentlemen go ahead and take over and say hello or make jokes?
Hello.
Let me go and holler at Nadia real quick. All right.
What's up, Joe?
How are you, Bill?
I'm doing good. You?
Good. I like the background. Would you going for a mid-century modern type feel? I like that.
I was thinking about the bubble gum in the Easter Island in Night of the Museum,
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying. Dum-dum, gum-gum.
Dum-dum.
Mm-hmm. I understand. Excuse me.
Okay, Nadia.
We have
I'll send it to you. All right. Yeah, Dennis isn't in space today. Normally you're in a ship. So.
Well, I know, but I had to go with the theme.
Oh, okay.
I added a little bubble gum too.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
This was a hard one for me.
This was difficult.
This was interesting.
Nadia had a hard time concentrating as well. There she is. Come on in here, slowpoke.
Well, I asked for guidance and then my computer shut me out.
That's your guidance.
Guided you right out the door.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, it looks like I'm going to be like Merlin's wife today with the gray hair.
Good thing you didn't say Siri.
Gosh. Okay. Well, from what I found out doing as much deep dive as I could, Easter Island is the shorter one today. Stonehenge is a whole lot more. So let's try to see if we can get Easter Island knocked out of the chat, and we'll talk a little bit what we do know or what we've found out. If you don't know, in the chat room, Easter Island is Polynesian. It's in Chile. And they are famous for the, forgive me if I butcher this again, Moai statues.
Moai.
Can we pronounce it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Gum works.
Yeah.
Gum.
So, my opinion, the more I deep dive into this, is there's got a lot of ugly history. Like, it was negativity all the way around. Everywhere I kept deep diving, it was just nasty, ugly. What says you all?
It was, and as it normally is, you have Europeans that are butchering all the natives and stuff on their own islands.
Right.
Bringing their disease and whatnot, and probably killing off a lot of the population.
Also taking them into slavery as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I have discovered, they had a cave under there that, I don't know the Polynesian word for it, but it said either to eat or to be eaten. So
Hey.
Let's make it a roach motel. They can go there, but they can never come out.
Okay, so there's a lot of controversy about where it stands currently, that it's not inhabited, but then again, there's other places say that it is inhabited by a few thousand people. Did you guys hit a dead end of the current situation?
I'm getting a few hundred.
Few
Okay.
hundred currently, yeah. What, on my search for this, I
Mhm.
found that nothing fit. Nothing
Yeah.
fit. Not
Nothing makes sense.
nothing whatsoever. It's like poof, we're here.
So the history
And
that I have is very basic. These people had nothing. They had no food. They had no resources whatsoever. But speaking with Nadia earlier, we found it ironic. You have no food, no resources, yet you make big fancy rock statues.
well, it's killing the time.
Oh well, no need to plant gardens or anything.
And you know they
Well,
like you. Have you seen the commercial they call Bigfoot Daryl?
Yes.
You
and
know,
his
I
other
was
brother, Daryl.
hoping, yeah, I was hoping kind of, like Night at the Museum would come out with a sequel and we find out Moai's name is Daryl. It would just fit well. I mean,
Very possible. Yeah.
Well, I think their main food staple was seafood, wasn't it?
No, actually, they said that the waves were so rough that they couldn't even fish, but yet they went there by boat.
Hmm.
So you get onto the
hard,
island, but
hard,
you can't
hard to
get
fit
back
that
off.
puzzle. Yeah.
Yeah. They said they brought one king
Sweet
and
potato.
his wife and let's say his tribe brought planting stuff plus sweet potatoes. But yet I don't know if there's still sweet potatoes on the island.
Well, and the hard thing for me was the palm trees. But yet they say that there was several hundred on the island at one point. Um, I just don't see how the island could have grown enough food to sustain them all.
Right.
So that comes down to is this for me the rabbit hole was okay. You know how we're supposed to gaze at the morning light to receive
Mhm.
our energy and not a whole lot of food. That's a possibility. That's the only thing that I could think of. But from a from our physical standpoint,
Right.
nothing fit.
Nadia,
Well,
you said that there was a cave that had the phrase "eat
to
or be to eat or be eaten."
Yes.
yes.
Do you have a date on approximately maybe
Um,
when that was written, estimated?
well,
During Shakespeare's time, maybe.
he was there,
To
and
be
there
or
goes
not to be?
Yeah.
Mhm.
something is going on with this computer. I just lost myself.
Yeah, mine
We
too.
can see you. We can see you.
What's going on?
Can still see you both.
Yeah, you're okay.
Yeah, maybe I'm falling through the Easter Island portal,
Yeah,
but
mine's just Turkin.
Yeah.
it just totally shut off and then it came back on. No, I don't know. It says the first European explorers arrived in 1722, and that's when they saw the giant moai. Um, it's amazing that they can do 800 or over 1,000 stones, but
Mhm.
yet there's no blacksmith material,
No iron. Yeah, nothing.
houses or huts. Um, I
Mine
just
just
think
shut off too.
you're
Oh,
just
there
shut
we
up.
are. The screen went black.
Oh my
It's
god!
back. I can see it.
See, now I feel left out.
Well, you're jumping through the portals, Dennis. You're avoiding this
I
thing.
My portals have bubble gum in the background.
There it is.
when you mentioned about the older Moai, they're surrounding the outer island, except for 2 points. So eat or be eaten was the Moai a deterrent in many cases? I don't know. Went down that rabbit hole, but that kind of sticks with you. Eat or be eaten.
Well, okay, so this island probably was the intentions was supposed to be good, but I think the negative got to it, which I was asking Jen this morning. Could these statues actually be frozen Anunnakis?
or representation.
I
Either
don't
one.
know if they're frozen. No, it's all made out of stone.
Well,
And
I mean,
I
you
had
know,
gone and looked at one of the photos, and they were actually carving a stone, but I don't know with what tools they were doing it with. From laying on a horizontal position before bringing it up.
Well, not only that. I mean, if it's basically volcanic rock, which they say is soft, but yet it can be brittle. There's several extremes on volcanic rock. You know, but again, okay. Let's say we were using rocks to carve it.
Mm.
Okay, where'd they get the rocks?
well,
I'm
Jen,
just saying it really is volcanic earth. It's like Hawaii. Would there be other forms of rocks? I'm sure, but yet no tools.
well, I was thinking more like what happened in Pompeii. Didn't they become stone?
The
Uh,
ash eventually
Yeah,
petrified,
ash. Yeah, hardened
yeah.
ash.
hardened.
Oh, and then the second thing is, Jen, I sent you a link to the frequency vibrations, and the vibration of Easter Island itself is of 600, where the Moai, those statues, are of 700, which is enlightenment, the beginning of enlightenment. So that's why I'm thinking, what type of energy is different there than the island itself?
Yeah, if they were actually part of the island. I mean, again, makes no sense.
Well, we can go in and ask Spirit. Do we want to originate with start with the Anunnaki question, or do you want to talk about the frequency and see if what Spirit says about the difference?
I would say let's go with the frequency.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that I got a portal energy there, but it was gone. It's been gone for a long time.
Okay.
But I just know there was one there at one point, but there's nothing around it now.
I mean, they were intelligent people who did go to Easter Island. What intrigued me was when they sailed their little canoes. It's like a canoe with a balance on one end, and how they knew they were.
Catamaran.
Well, I don't close Polynesian catamaran, we'll say,
Yeah.
but when they were close to land, which they didn't know there was land, they would listen to the way the waves would come back. So if it hit land, it would have a different sound of a wave coming back. To me, that's very intelligent.
Well, to me, not very is they found their way there and couldn't get back off. And
Unless,
I mean that out of respect. Don't get me wrong, but okay, you got there, and it all stopped.
Is it
No, it was like no
possible
one
that
left.
the island could have been a larger, I don't know, continent or island, and then
I like that.
through volcano eruption or whatnot and earthquakes, gotten to the place where it is now?
yeah, cause it to rise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, curious to find out, asking about the frequency, if when the people moved away, or the ones that brought the frequency left, the people in the community that were there didn't know which way to turn. I think it changed a lot for them.
Okay.
So the originators who brought that great frequency, it caused a lot of confusion for the community of people that were still left there. But the frequency and the meaning behind it, this is the future. The enlightenment is still there. It is still very high in frequency, and that there's a purpose for it being there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter of going in, and I guess you would have to explore it. People that are more enlightened, well, definitely more than me, would have to try to figure out how to access that frequency. Because the Empress, it takes somebody very sovereign and abundant to be able to do it, if you're even allowed to do it, because governments put restrictions on everybody now. But this one, I love the fact that the moon comes in here because it causes illusion and confusion to some people. There's something about it currently that messes with people's heads.
Maybe that's
Maybe
why they couldn't get off.
people think that it's a really, really bad place, but the stones themselves actually are really, really good because with that hangman in there.
And then that brings up one of the things I thought of. Was it like a type of banishment? Was that what it was used for in
Almost like
so many respects?
almost like Australia being
Like a
prison.
prison island, like an originality of Australia. Interesting. Let's see.
Well, go with Nadia's question. I mean,
Okay.
we did frequency. Go with. I'm sorry.
Were they
Anunnaki.
Thank
Anunnakis?
you.
Were
No,
they
thank you.
human?
Okay.
While you're doing that, could I entertain you with
No entertaining.
how?
Get off the table.
Don't sing-
You know,
don't
I
sing,
don't
Jay.
There's
There's
get
not
to
a poll
watch.
involved.
No, it's not a poll.
Okay.
But one of the things I got to watch the other day was a commercial, and it was on the TV, but right before I turned it down, which I always do, they were dancing around some kind of pharmaceutical talking about their A1C. Like a bunch of people clapping, like lowering my A1C.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like, how dumb do they think you are? I don't watch hardly anything at all, but I catch certain things, and I was just thinking, wow, that's how they lure people in with a song about A1C. Hey, you know me. I don't know. It was just like ridiculous. It was mind blowing that it's like a Mentos commercial. Someone paid for that. It really bothers me. Sorry. That's why I don't watch that shit.
Well, I have to when I pass by my dad's TV while he's watching his stocks, and yeah, I saw the A1C. Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to the Anunnaki, we've got major arcana cards in here, so that usually gives me a yes. But what you're hearing now brings great disappointment because you're not getting all the truth.
Mm.
That's just complete heartache. You're not getting it all. Very enlightened intelligence. That's the high priestess.
Oh.
So the Anunnaki, yes. But in the past, it was the original Anunnaki, not good because there's your death card. But it slowly changed over time because that brings change in. It was all stolen. That's the thief card. Everything about it was stolen. The original purpose, it was stolen. There's a lot more to this than we don't see because the Four of Swords represents hidden secrets and gifts. We're just not getting the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter. No matter where I turned, I couldn't figure it out. It does have great advice to keep exploring and keep searching, start on a new path and have the determination to do it because it benefits humanity.
Mm.
Because the Ten of Pentacles is a family generational card. So there's more to it, but yeah, Anunnaki, yeah, high-powered, enlightened sources, which, good or bad, they were very, very intelligent creatures. So.
What if they banish someone that was, quote, a royalty, like your card suggests, enlightenment, hierarchy even,
Mm-hmm.
and if they banished them to that, yet they made the most of it. There's so many ways to go with it, but yet it all comes down to how could we even think to put it all together? There's just next to nothing there.
Well, pulling two more confirmation, if we slowly start to search the truth, because swords are always about truth, we can reconcile that energy again. That's reconciliation. We will find it again if you're enlightened and ascended enough. There's just so much stuff to it that has been hidden from us. Where do you start?
Dennis was around. I'm just saying, I think he was on the island.
Well, he got off the island. They voted him off the island.
What is it, Survivor?
It was either eat or be eaten.
Oh,
So he ate.
he didn't want to be eaten. He left.
He could eat sweets back then.
It was feet, do your duty.
So also, were those bodies on top and then it went into the ground?
The
Or-
statues.
Yeah,
Like-
those statues, the Moais.
Well, there's some that are on a platform that are specifically a certain height, but
Yeah.
the true moais are varying in sizes, anywhere from, I think it was 7 feet. The largest, which is still left in place, is actually, I forget the length, but I know it was 2 times the size of Statue of Liberty. That's
Actually,
still in the
Wow.
quarry. Still
If
in the
you-
quarry there.
If you dug all the way down to the feet of the statues, they're like the tallest is 33 foot.
Yep, 90 tons.
And that one I'm mentioning about that's still in the quarry, that's twice the size of Statue of Liberty. Now, I'm sure that's not the pedestal. I'm assuming that's the copper, if you will. I couldn't get a actual confirmation on that.
Well, and we've got some that have fallen over, and you can see the base of them, that they're not down in the ground. They just fell over from the surface. But Nadia, I asked you earlier, you said there, as far as we know, there's 87 still currently standing.
No, 887.
Oh, 887.
Yes.
Wow.
What I felt was curious too, there's carvings all, and some, not too many have them carvings on the front of the statue, but a lot of the ones that are buried have carvings and symbols on the backs of the bodies represented. There's nothing on that. I mean, to find pictures on it was hard. Like
Yeah,
I said,
most of the pictures that come up are you just see the line of the statues, and that's pretty much it. It doesn't really go into detail.
there's a handful of photos showing lower back, upper back. I mean, they're not there to represent tattoos in my eyes, because they were
Right.
very detailed and symboled. And like I said, I think I saw 6, and I had to dig. For, once I got past 2, I had to dig for those next 4. It would really dig. It got frustrating.
So I want to question the cards. If the symbols that are engraved on the back of it, are those special codes or gifts? And it's just like crop circles. They all mean something.
Yeah.
Probably written language.
Hmm.
I know some languages of ancient times were symbols being used. They didn't have an actual alphabet.
Right.
Yeah.
Jay,
I
did
think-
you say there was actual copper on the bottom?
No. I was talking about the Statue of Liberty when I mentioned the copper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
'Cause
I had a
Dragonfly-
question there and I forgot it. I
Sorry.
said do it after Nadia's.
Sorry.
I forgot. It's totally gone.
Well, Jen, are you pulling any cards?
Yeah, I'm going to pull just to see if there's great significance, if somebody needs to find out what these symbols mean.
Okay.
If there's a message behind it of how to become more enlightened and it has to do with frequency, that's what I want to know. And if they do actually know this, are they just hiding it from us? They're known to do that.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
No
Uh,
fresh water source on the
so-
island also. There was a couple records of the first people that had contact with them that was okay, if you will. Didn't seem like anything bad happened, but that they had said the islanders would drink from the ocean, and they come to find that there's like water spouts underneath the island that would come up around the island, and the salinity around the island is much less than the actual ocean, if you will, but it was still salt water.
mm.
But I couldn't find a source of fresh water.
Well, just asking if we need to figure out what those symbols mean. 5 major arcana cards are in this.
Wow.
Extremely
Let's get it.
important. This will bring absolute strength. They mean something. because this has to do with off-worlder energy for the people.
Oh, really? You want to
Ten
chime
of
in?
Cups is celebration. And then there's a huge ace. There's your water spout there. Ace of Cups. Yeah, that's definitely a yes. This is to bring enlightenment, ascension with the Magician card. He's not a trickster in this. And Temperance is about trying to find spiritual balance. And if you do this, you'll change the way you think, because the Wheel of Fortune will change your thought process. So all those major arcana cards, there is something about the symbols on the back of that. There's a message behind it for enlightenment.
I was getting truth, and I was seeing angel wings in my mind. I don't know what that meant.
Okay, well,
Maybe the symbols are angelic. I don't know.
Could be.
the Temperance, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay, but this was in the reading, so yeah. It's about the spiritual balance.
It was evolved. Hey, I was connected.
He was in the zone.
Well, Jen, did you get the last thing I sent to you?
Yes, I did.
They're not. I was trying to figure out if there was any connection to ley lines and portals that way, but there's a curved flow, and it's amazing that it went to the pyramids. And
Not shocked by that.
And I'm trying to read it, but obviously my computer, when it went blank, I lost everything that I was saving.
There you go.
So Easter Island is connected to Machu Picchu, Giza, and it's connected to the megaliths. I found that amusing, but I didn't actually see a direct ley line.
No,
No.
not at all. It wasn't even in the center of what we would call the center of one, or even close. It just wasn't there.
But I think is this considered a flat Earth map? I don't know, but
No.
No.
If you see the arch goes all the way around, what's in the center of those three? I don't know. What would you call it? Convex?
Easter Island, I know Machu Picchu is a very, very known place for people seeing off-worlders. It's very famous for that. And of course,
It's up there in Peru, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and of course we know Giza there's more to those than what we're being told.
And that's actually not a bad segue, because Machu Picchu, if you look at the settlements throughout there, and the other one, the most recent one, I'm trying to think of it. But anyway, when you look at the henges and the other quote henges that are like it around the world, Teotihuacan. Is it? No, it's not Teotihuacan.
Oh, you're talking about Tepe?
Yeah, Göbekli Tepe.
Göbekli
The settlements are in spheres and circles, and it's almost like they're within a little henge. I don't know. We had talked about that, me and Nadia.
Oh, is that it?
That's Tepe.
Yeah.
Tepe, okay.
And there's they did a LiDAR scan overhead, and everything seems to be its individual, here's your circle, here's your circle, here's your circle. Pretty neat.
Right. It was fascinating. Okay, so what else do we want to pick apart with Easter Island, or do you want to move on to Stonehenge? Because
Easter Island. So we said that the Moai, they were not of this; they were of off-world. Is that what we concluded?
Yes.
So if they were good or bad, they said they were good. So one of my questions were, could those humans be a sacrifice?
Could be.
Eat or be eaten.
Yeah. And that's why they hid in the caves.
Were the carvings carved by extraterrestrials? Because the stones are already on the island.
Yeah, well, because we got the star card in that last reading about the symbols, and that
Right.
represents off-worlders. They're the ones that put them there. Interesting. Let's see.
Symbols, the angelic thing, that's sticking with me. I'll try and deep dive that if they honestly, I couldn't get shit out of my guides. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I really couldn't. Now
Yeah.
we bring that up and it's like, oh yeah.
Fiber.
Yeah.
Fiber? Well, they're stoned. I don't think shit would come up.
If you want to go that far, yeah.
Well, I just wonder if it was a battle of everything's always battle of good versus evil with off-worlders, the bad versus the good. The bad were trying to sacrifice and eat the humans or whatever, and the other ones were trying to save humanity.
I thought it was kind of interesting that fell under the jurisdiction of Chile, but I did the math and it looks like Australia is closer. Australia has a chain of islands. Well, I was going by main country, like large, but there's a number. Yeah, there's a number of islands, small but heading that way. Yeah, it was just Chile out of nowhere.
Okay, I get that we have
I couldn't find rhyme or reason on that either.
A little bit of both here. I think it was the battle of good and evil because they were really trying to keep the family aspect together. They were trying to do the right thing. But in order to do this, they had to be very strategic, making peace, reconciliation, making sure that everything stayed okay. But they had a problem because the bad guys came in here. They tried to hold on for dear life, but they had to surrender.
Hi, Lee.
And this is that's a harvest card, so harvesting humanity, and that ended up they had to surrender to that. So we have both. So it was good versus evil. All they wanted to do was start a life, and it did not happen. Wow. Part of this is contractual because of the Lover's card. That's a contract card to cause division as well.
There was angel wings on that, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's another angel. Yeah. Yeah. Dennis is in this.
Am I in there?
Yeah, there is.
Adam and Eve. Yeah, there's you and your wife.
I thought it was the angel. Never mind.
No, nice try, but no. But Adam's in there.
He's in
You wasn't so shy back then, were you?
Yeah, he's in
When did the
Jess's
fig
card.
leaf get in place? That's what I want to know.
Well, my fig leaf was bigger than hers.
Wow.
Okay.
I hope so.
Identified as hers? Or?
Quite interesting because the Lover's card is my Jez card. Just realized that Dennis is in that card.
I can't help it, guys.
I don't know what kind of past you two had, but all right. So what else do we want to pick anything else apart about Easter Island? What else were we going to ask? Or it's okay if you want to move on, it's fine. Because at some point I hit a standstill.
Yeah, I think we've exhausted Easter Island.
I think we're good. We're good.
They couldn't find any eggs anyway, so
Give me a one card yes or no on this.
Okay.
Are the symbols on the back?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just ask it straight out. Are they angelic symbols?
Angelic.
Yeah. In other words,
And
language of
if
the
not, are
angels.
they
Are
ET?
generally-
From
One
the
question at a
heavenly
time.
realm.
One question at a time.
Yep.
What was that, Dennis?
If not angelic, are they ET?
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, that's leadership. Yep.
oh,
There's a throne
Okay.
position there.
Well, if you could remember, Dennis, this would be a lot easier. Just
Well,
saying.
you know,
what
first
was
thing
that?
that
Was that
goes
a
when you get
lizard?
old is your memory. You know.
Did y'all not bring
I-
crayons
yeah.
and paper?
I said to Dennis, if he could remember these things, this would be a lot easier.
Was there a lizard on that card? Is that the off-worlder?
Mm, yeah.
Wow.
Reptilian.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That makes sense. Following the angelic, though. That makes sense. Small, little lizard. Teeny,
Little things.
teeny weeny.
That's
Okay.
why they didn't build houses. They didn't want these lizards. In
Yeah,
them.
they could carve the big moai, just not a 2-bedroom, 2-bath
Well,
shelter.
What's fascinating is the king was on the top of the deck, the queen's on the bottom.
Oh.
We're not going to
like
go
that.
there.
So it was a
Just can't help himself. It's real subtle, though. You got to give him credit. It's real subtle.
But
It's just,
of
he
the
lays it out there and he lets our mind take it over.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
of
saying?
the heavenly realm there, and then there's the final 3 card is the Ace of Wands. They're all wands, so yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. I find it fascinating, Rocco. Didn't you say in the beginning that you felt that there was a portal there?
At one time, I could tell there was something there.
There was an
And-
energy there.
Yeah,
That's
and
good.
but it hasn't been there for quite some time, and the only reason from what I felt, I asked, and it was there at one point. I can only tell you what I feel, but it hasn't been there for a very long time. Very long time.
Well, I kept pulling the base cards, and they said, well, this will answer Rocco's. Here's your 2 portal cards, also wands.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another wand that it ended a long time ago.
Wow.
Okay.
So that confirms that.
Awesome.
And my
Wow,
fig
that
leaf,
memory
my
was
fig
all
leaf was
wands.
nowhere near the size of Dennis's. Just saying.
Oh, goodness. All right.
And away we go.
Let's portal to the other side of the planet. the
Portal
world.
to Stonehenge and all the other thousands that look just like it and that are older than Stonehenge, but yet we focus on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll just give you the answer, and we should be done. It's giant Anunnakis playing dominoes to try to, but they got cut in the middle.
Really?
Yep,
I
we're
thought
done.
it was chess.
No, they were holding the dominoes and they were waiting to knock it over, but they got called away.
Wow.
We're done.
End of story.
End of story.
Thank you. Be here all week. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Lee's just now catching up. He's sitting there going, he's homesick today. He's going, what are you talking about? And I went, and he goes, you know them things on the island? Yeah. Gum, 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 gum. From the
Yeah, dum-dum-dum.
Well, from what I've read before, they're supposed to represent influential people, and their actual graves are underneath the stones.
Did y'all hear that?
I did hear
No.
that. I only found one reference to that. That's why I didn't bring it up. I couldn't get anything out of it, but now I did give Lee some props there. I did come across
Okay. So something
But that's all-
buried underneath. That's all it
That's as
says.
far as it goes.
That's all they ever say. They don't really go into detail
There's
because
nothing-
nobody
yeah.
knows.
Exactly.
Or they don't want us to know. That's the main thing.
It's a giant Easter egg.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where the Easter Bunny lives, and that's why no
There
one
you
ever
go.
sees him.
Down the rabbit hole.
That's it.
They did say they had chickens and rats, so
It's all making sense now.
or food groups.
That's why there's no rabbits there for Easter.
That's right.
Wabbit.
We have figured out life's mystery there. Okay.
So, Dennis, when we're leaving Easter Island, are you going to give your souvenir back from your background there? You brought a souvenir
I'm
with
going
you?
to keep it. I like the bubble gum.
That's one big piece of bubble gum. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, we're heading to.
All right. So let's head to Stonehenge. Anybody want to go to the UK?
I'll take it real quick first.
Okay.
I think there's representations of what we call Israeli Stonehenge, other Stonehenges type or like items out there and locations, but the henges were really primarily within the bounds of England and Scotland, I believe. But what I'm
Yes.
getting at is the Druids are associated with this also. And quite frankly, I don't think we would know about it without the Druids.
Right.
So my question is, when it comes to building it and everything like this, was it? I focused on, okay. I kept thinking the Druids rediscovered it, not built it, if you will.
Right.
It was there, and that's where this usage came from, regardless of the pagan type religion of Druids. They rediscovered it, and kind of there's more to it,
That's okay.
but I just thought I'd throw that out there. Is that something that they rediscovered? Because henge is such it's within the language of England, Britain, henge, because there's bunches of them.
Right. Well, like I said earlier, we always focus on Stonehenge itself, but there's so many more that are thousands of years older than that one.
Mhm.
And Terry had brought up the other day if we could look into
Be
uh,
right back.
Colossus. Is that what it is? Colossus standing stones.
Kalanish.
Colonish, and that I believe is in Scotland.
Yep.
And they're supposed to be 5,000 years older than Stonehenge themselves. They're still, let's see, which one?
Well, the Gobekli Tepe is 11,000 years old. So that's
Yeah,
a-
they're saying I was reading that they consider that the very first temple,
which one?
world's first temple, Tepe.
Tepe. Okay.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull this other picture up here. This is the one that I showed earlier. Obviously, it's been dilapidated, but
That's Tepe, yeah.
you can tell by just the outline and the way the stones are laid out. It makes you wonder. These are not as in good a shape as the others.
And those have been excavated, though. They were not. I don't think
They dug those up, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dennis, did you remember building these?
It's been a while. You know, it was like
Been a while?
playing in the sand on the beach.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Santa.
Okay.
Where's
so,
the beach?
So one of the main things that they always talk about Stonehenge being is a burial site. It's an ancient burial site. Now, I talked to Nadia about this earlier, and she said, well, yes, for some, it may have been a burial site, but I think it also represents ceremonial stuff, not just for burial. I think it was about frequency as well.
You have that frequency thing.
I do.
While you're looking, maybe I can give you some other descriptions of it.
Mm-hmm.
The buildings, they built it starting from 3100 BC to 1600 BC. So a lot of stones were added and taken off of it. They said it could have been burial place. It could have been a healing place, soundscape with sound waves, or celestial observations. Now, amazing that Stonehenge started at 1700 of enlightenment, and then it went down to 110 of fear.
When they removed stones away from it.
They removed and added stones. So some of those stones are not dated to the same time. The funny thing about that the stones were brought The bluestones, they're about 4 tons. They brought 80 of them 150 miles away from that location.
Wow.
And the sarsen stones, those are the tall ones. They're 50 tons. They're about 20 feet tall, and they came 20 miles away from Melbourne Downs. So.
And how long ago was this that they were brought there?
From the 31 BC to the 16 BC.
Oh, they just brought them that far. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's how long it took them to get them there. But
Okay.
or we go by Merlin's story. There was an interesting comment in the chat.
Yeah, I wonder where that came from, Joe.
I want to know. I'm not even looking at the chat. I'm not ignoring everybody. I'm just.
Some person asked if Dennis Merlin.
Dennis Merlin?
Was
Asking
Dennis
for
Merlin asking for a friend? Was interesting comment. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, let's see.
May
No,
I ask?
I did not crown you king.
Did you hear what happened before I left? Just a few seconds ago?
No.
Okay. It was like one of the loudest farts ever from my dogs.
You always blame with the dogs, Rocco.
Listen, hey, I will take full responsibility. I have zero shame. I can't be embarrassed.
Full disclosure.
I mean, it was loud. That's why I was like, oh my God.
Jay, you're lucky.
I'll go back and edit to the replay.
Yeah,
just to
it was
check
loud
comments,
enough that I was
then I'll
worried
probably hear it.
something happened that usually comes with those things.
Well, you're lucky that it didn't knock over the rest of the Stonehenge with that
Yes,
stuff.
exactly.
Oh my goodness. Let's see.
What are you doing the cards to find out whether or not
I
it's
am.
Merlin?
This is what grounds me, okay? This is what grounds
Well,
me.
Since Jen's pulling cards, you know how I'm trying to do T-shirt of the week?
Oh, that's right.
Today is embrace your journey. So even though we're getting either angry or depressed or releasing, let's embrace the journey.
I embrace it. I just don't like people getting in my way because then I trip them on their journey. But, just saying. I'm a work in progress, okay? So is Dennis Merlin.
Go ahead.
There's the sun card. Aren't you pretty? Yeah. You're always
Yeah, that's right.
granting people's wishes. Waving that sword of truth around. There you go. I just did a 3-card spread. So, yeah. Yep.
So, a Dom, a Merlin.
That's funny.
You
the
know,
base,
you
the
want to
base
know what's
card's
funny?
the fool.
I was kidding when I put that in there, but it came to me. That's why I put it in there.
Hey, I don't mind asking questions.
I'm just saying it was like that.
That's how he gets his Brita Keurig from midair.
Exactly.
How that works.
Just poof out. Just like
The other,
shit
well,
appeared.
Rocco's card was under the other base card, so yeah, that makes sense. You were manifesting the answer. That's how it comes through. There you go.
You and your moo-moo, Jay.
Yeah,
You and your moo-moo.
my moo-moo.
Oh goodness.
And did you
A
notice
whole
I
new
wore a different?
perspective on my
I
past
wore
lives
another
lineup.
different shirt today. I'm trying to be
Wow.
cognizant of this, and the hard part for me is, see, I have 3 and 4 of the shirts that I like, so I'm pulling out shirts I don't like. Do you know
Just
what I
for the
mean?
show?
Yeah, because it's like, you always see me in that flannel shirt. Like I said, it's my house coat. I don't know what to tell you, but it's comfortable. I like it.
I didn't even wear a solid t-shirt today. I have
Yeah.
flowers on, which is weird. We're all stepping out of our
I
comfort zone.
see that.
Yeah, I don't
see
have
that.
a solid one either.
Well, one show we're just all gonna have to gather and wear moo-moos. Just saying.
So I was
I
listening,
wouldn't kill a cow for mine.
I was listening to what we were talking about, and one of the theories that I come across, which was they had represented some of the henges, not just the astronomical things, but one of them came up with a representation of Mother Earth, female Earth. And if you look at it, kind of looks like a cell in many respects. But I didn't buy into that. But what I thought was interesting was the energy seemed to be very balanced, male and female.
Mhm.
I thought maybe there might be something to that. Whether I don't necessarily buy the story, I just buy the energy felt right. In other words, it seems like it was taken over at some point, but initially there just felt like a very balanced energy on it.
Well, do you want to pull cards on that?
Oh no! I was just go ahead if you want to. I didn't know where we were going with this. I threw a curveball out there, from my guy.
That's all right. We like
You
curveballs.
and your curveballs.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, we got one more. You didn't come across that identity in your search, did you? Did
I
you?
think
This
your
guy.
curveball is a little bit bigger than mine.
What has two thumbs and found out Dennis was Merlin? This guy. Okay.
Rocco is butter today. He's on a roll.
I didn't think we needed to
Usually
ask.
happens when the two of us get together.
All right. Let's see here.
What is the question that we're asking?
The male and female
Sorry.
energy.
From the Stonehenge or from?
From the round table. What?
From Stonehenge. It just
From
seemed
the
like
Stonehenge.
there was a balanced masculine and feminine energy, and I have a hard time seeing that. That's why it stuck out to me that there was a balanced energy in there. I have a hard time seeing male energy, female energy. And when I felt this just seemed very, very balanced. I don't know what that represents.
Well, let me change this view here. Okay, this is just asking the question of, is it the male and female? Because that's just happiness and the balance between the two. I don't get that it has to do with spirituality because of the Hierophant.
Okay.
Just spirituality in general, both together. I mean, it's just spirituality.
Right.
But here's what's happened a lot through history is they've taken the female energy out of it. Now, and it causes worry and anxiety. Okay, so when the Queen of Cups comes in here, she represents setting boundaries.
I'm telling you. Sorry.
Well, when you take one energy out over the other, it can cause anxiety and worry. The real truth about it. This is to cause confusion to the collective.
I think your first card really made more sense to me. The spirituality of
it's
just
the
energy.
Spirituality of the whole thing, really,
Right.
is what we're asking. So,
Well, and that's why the frequency went down that far. I mean, they took
the female out.
If some of the stones represented female and those are the ones that were removed, that could be what they're telling us.
Yeah. I found it interesting that 14, it was the center of 14 ley lines. And I was trying to look to see where the ley lines would go, how they were connected. So to me, it almost was like a portal.
Yes.
So almost like if you guys know the movie, the older people would know Highlanders with Sean Connery. Younger people would see the new one. Dennis was there, and the younger people would see Outlander, the new movie, and it's like they jumped from Stonehenge to Stonehenge.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know that Sean Connery was representing Dennis in the movie, right?
He can't be Merlin and whatever his name, Ramirez, at the same time.
One of the things I don't know, is sugar hitting on me like spin the bottle in the dark? I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
What did I miss?
Something about spin the bottle. I don't know. Okay, love you. But okay. One of the things I was
glitching time.
Nadia about how she was saying Highlander, that thing. I told Nadia when I was connecting for this, there seemed to be an energy portal, obviously, but inside of the stone let's just call it the Stonehenge, inside the stones, if you will, not on the outside or outside of the henge. The henge is actually the border, but there was a sensation of when you're inside the stone. Outside was time was stopped, but yet inside was a different time. In other words, there was a manipulation, and that's why I was kind of getting portal. But at the same time, it didn't seem that I could go far. It was very short, and it was very okay. It was very now the moment. There was a spirituality of it, and then it came through as a rush of air, and that kind of, I don't know, represented to me the evil came in at that point. But it was something to do with time inside the stones.
So could there have been like a security perimeter around it?
Solstices.
I couldn't tell if the energy was earthly, if you will, but inside that the stones was, you're moving around. They seem to be frozen. They're actually not. So it was almost like a difference of time, like out of time.
Right.
I don't know how to explain that or how to ask that.
Like a time stopped while you're still moving.
Yeah, but time didn't stop for them.
Mm-hmm.
Time didn't stop for me, but it was totally different. They weren't moving, but they weren't stopped in time. It was like the person inside was sped up, but yet that's why I said it's the first time I've ever felt
a perception of the realms, though.
Yeah, it like something in there was, I don't know if it was brought on by the portal, brought on by the structure, the combination of, but there was
Merlin.
Yeah. Well, hey, remember, okay? Come on, get some of that ginkgo, whatever.
Dennis made a good point that it is aligned with the sunrise on the summer solstice.
It is.
So, and then it's
And I'm wondering if
sundial.
possibly they've got like the winter solstice and the fall solstice, as well.
Right. And maybe there's certain days of the year, 4 times a year or something magical is supposed to happen.
And it's been rebuilt, that we don't know what if you look at how they rebuilt parts of those things and put them back together, we don't know. At one point I saw like the pyramids, okay, the capstone. If the capstone was put in a different way, a different vibration.
Yes.
This is kind of what I'm saying. It almost seems like, and I don't know if how you want to ask that from the cards, but okay, everything was in it. I can only put it like this. Okay, we got 2 timelines going down. We're moving at one speed. They're moving at another inside the circle. But to us, they look like they're stopped, but they're not.
Yeah.
I don't know how to understand that.
It's just your perception of it.
Displacement. Yeah.
Get it?
It just seemed to be displacement of some sort.
But
Yeah.
you
Go
really need
inside
to be,
the circle.
Yes.
you need to be
Keep it
careful about that because they manipulated that circle. So you're lucky it didn't take you somewhere else.
Well, that's just it. This wasn't. I was in, but I was. It wasn't. My spirit was more along the lines of like my consciousness checking it.
Yeah, but
It
they
was.
have changed it for not good intentions.
I know. But they protect me. They would take me where they don't want me to go. But it was definitely. It was very like they were just doing to me. Hey, mention this. This is important. I don't understand the displacement aspect of it.
Well,
And what would bring that on? A ceremony, a ritual? Was it earthly? Was it just the portal itself? Even though there's tons of shit we know about Stonehenge, there's tons of shit we have no clue about.
well, on one of the ley lines, directly on one of the ley lines, Glastonbury, England, the Tor, Silbury Hill, those are all on one ley line. There is another ley line that may link the UK to ancient Egypt.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, that one. I do know that one.
Yeah.
Well, I find it fascinating that, according to their calculations, Stonehenge is a lot older than the pyramids.
Wow. To their calculation, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know, because some say that Stonehenge has been around since 3000 BC. And then there's another site that you can go to and go a little bit deeper, and it says it was 9000 BC.
Well, while you're pulling cards, there's a couple more things I want to say. In 1915, the land was for sale. Stonehenge was for sale. And I don't know if this, I'm sorry?
It's owned by the Crown. The Crown put it up for sale.
But in 1915, the land was for sale. There's a gentleman named Cecil Chubb. He bought it for like 16,000 pounds as a gift for his wife.
Here, honey, about your gravesite.
Yeah. So what do you want? Land? That's what you want? You'll be happy with land, right? Okay.
Comes with headstones.
I was going to say you wanted headphones for sound. Yeah.
Yeah, not
and
jewelry,
then
nothing. Land. Okay.
And then
I got to remember that.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm jealous of
next anniversary. Yeah. Let's see how that goes over.
I'm going to buy you a pyramid next year.
And then 1918, he donated it to England.
You know what? There's something there, right there. I think we ought to sell. Okay, some of you guys can use this because I can't make money on my spirituality. I just got an idea. I think we should.
Oh Lord, we're in trouble.
Of all the stars that are out there and planets, you know how you can buy a star and have it named?
Oh yeah.
Why don't you have the pyramid on that star named for your loved one? There you go.
I have
That's all I got. I didn't say it was a good idea. Okay, I didn't say it was a good idea. I'm just saying it's an idea.
You're so special, Nadia.
Yes, I do. I'm a star up there. Another thing is I do want to give, if anybody's interested on the ley lines, 1925, a book was published by Alfred Watkins. It's called The Old Straight Track. And that's regarding ley lines and where do they go.
Interesting.
Okay, can you send that to me? I'd be interested in that. Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking
you
of,
kids can't hand it down to me here.
Did you guys get the email that I sent you about the Dolores Cannon book?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I thought that was fascinating.
I went down that road because of extraterrestrial, the whole bit. And like I said, see, the hard thing for me, maybe while I'm seeing this displacement of time, in other words, the only thing I could maybe kind of come up with was extraterrestrial. Is that a possibility? Again, there was a blip on it. I didn't pursue it.
I'm going to show you because I pulled cards on what you were saying. Okay. So this is you just standing there watching it.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, because you can't quite figure out what it is. You're kind of leaning on the hoe going, okay, what's going on? Okay, so they're trying to reconcile with you. They want you to see both.
Okay.
This is a gift giving, okay?
Okay.
They're giving you an opportunity to see it. This is about emotions. Now, this is in the past. You were meant to see this, but they wanted to make sure that your emotions were going to be okay.
Okay.
Okay? All right.
I mean, it makes sense because it was just, I was there. I can't explain it, and I don't know how long it lasted.
Well, they know that you can handle the truth, to balance yourself out, to realize that you can handle seeing both. Yes. Okay. Yeah. You can handle understanding what you're seeing, that it wasn't going to make you flip out and lose your marbles any more than you already have.
Mm-hmm.
But you also realize that most of us are left out of this concept. People don't understand that there's multiple linear timelines going on, past, present, and future. People don't understand that. This is just being left out in the cold of truth. But you are strong enough to handle it, to see the strength behind the messages they were letting you see, that there is a difference of timelines. What you were seeing, Your eyes were not playing tricks on you. You were
Okay.
seeing through your third eye.
Okay.
Okay.
It was
Pay attention to the infinity symbol. When these show up, you're seeing infinity. Just keep going. You're seeing
Okay.
all different kinds of realms, if that makes sense.
no, it makes sense because it was moving, but it wasn't, and it was
I know.
like I said, this displacement. It almost like the outside inside was
Mhm.
displaced from even what it was viewing.
I totally understand what you're saying.
Okay.
But
All
this
I
is
want to
for your-
know is the next
that's your
time you
benefit.
decide to take a trip, while not leaving the farm, that you let me know ahead of time so I can join you.
We'll do. Hey, hey, this is without pills. How about that? Okay, I don't even need alcohol. I'm great at parties.
All right. Rocco's driving the short bus on that trip. Okay. All right. There's a little bit of a warning when I pull that next top card for confirmation is tread lightly because you can get stuck between realms.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's what I said.
See,
You
but
can-
see,
you
I
can get
didn't.
stuck. But I believe you were divinely protected.
Yeah, I was gonna say this
Your
was
angels were
shown
with
to me.
you.
Yeah.
That's your
Okay.
contract. That's the lover's card. There's my jizz.
Okay.
Just
Jizz and Dennis come back in here. They're apparently maybe they were with you, but it's an angel. It's just a contract. They know that you can handle this.
Okay.
You are divinely protected.
Okay.
He just couldn't handle me.
Exactly.
Wow.
Hey,
Got it. Okay. All right.
But yeah, Nadia came up with so many sites
Yeah.
associated, and I'm sure you guys got these too. But there were several I had no idea that they even existed.
Well, I could start by the Ring of Brodgar in Scotland.
Mhm.
That's on a ley line. Standing Stone of Stens in Scotland. We have Callanish Stone.
Yep.
If you anybody have anything on it, what I found interesting was Silbury Hill, which is on the same ley line as Stonehenge, and what was interesting, it's not really a megalith, but it's 129 feet high, but it's the tallest prehistoric man-made mound. Which what's under that we don't know, but it's composed of chalk and clay. And was it Eugen that talked about, or Dolores Cannon, on one of those observations, said that around the altar was clay, or
Yeah.
chalk, was chalk.
Chalk.
And then you got this hill made out of chalk and clay.
Yep.
Merlin, was there anything, Dennis, was there anything that you used the chalk for?
I tried it on a whiteboard, but it wasn't working.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were outlining the sacrifice official.
I know for a fact Dennis was one of those guys eating the paste. Remember the stick stuff? I did it too. Yeah, but it was like
Actually, I
pre-Elmer.
did. Yes.
You get that little stick, and
The
we all
chalk.
did it as kids. Yeah.
You're talking about the one that came in the brown bottle, not that's
Yes.
like old school.
Yeah, but like there was a wooden stick you'd stick
That
into it
wooden
in
stick
school,
in it.
and it was non-toxic, and all of us kids were like,
Is that
Yep.
rubber cement? Were you talking
Yep.
about rubber cement?
it was white, it was chalky. That's all I can tell you.
I don't remember
That's
that.
the only thing I did. I used
I
the
was from
stapler on my hand too.
Is the oh
Oh,
Thank you.
oh,
okay. The ley lines.
Uh-huh.
The ley lines. What are you saying? Time can follow the ley lines.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is okay.
It's based on energy.
Yes.
Okay,
Everything's
like they're
based
showing
on
me the.
Well, that's why they're like portals that can make the one person jump
Right, but
from one ley line to another
okay,
without wasting time.
Right.
it's
It's like
touching
beam
it.
me up,
It's
Scott.
touching it. It's touching it. Okay, that's right? I mean, that's what they were just telling me. Like, okay, I didn't know that, but I see what you're saying. Okay, sorry, I'm new to the game on
That's
that.
okay. I believe that they could go from, if they wanted to transport from Stonehenge to the pyramids instantly, they could do it because they're on those ley lines.
Well, on that note, one of my findings were, and I'm very partial to this area, but inside Lake Michigan has also the same
Yes.
megalithic Stonehenge in under the lake.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only under what, like 30 some feet of water. It's not very deep. It's not very deep. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Why don't you dive down there and take some pictures for us?
I figured Dennis was there when it was
Well,
dry.
I would guess that Stonehenge would be like the pyramids, and they'd be all over the place, but they're just not all discovered yet.
Hey, Jen, are you pulling any cards?
Not right now.
Can
can't.
we see if there's a connection between Stonehenge and the Lake Michigan Stonehenge, just
Okay.
like the Parthenon that we
Okay.
had Greece and Tennessee?
Okay. Yeah, when I pulled information just overseas across the big pond, there's more than 1,300 stone circles in Britain, Ireland, and France. Scotland has more than 500 currently. They're all over the place. But
Yeah.
let's see if there's a connection. Obviously, we have some here in America as well.
Well, that's where Highlander and Outlander, I'm sure there's some folklore or truth that came out, and that's what they're spreading truth right now for us.
Right, exactly. They have to drip it out some which way or another, even if it comes across as a sci-fi show.
There can only be one. Where'd Joe go this time?
Really,
Did he take another trip outside the farm?
His
there.
dogs probably ran him out.
Well, I still feel something drawing me towards Atlantis in that area.
Ooh.
Uh-oh, that's not that's close to Navy Pier. Ew.
Okay, so there is a connection.
Okay.
It's not for the good.
Nope.
This is so it can be used independently of itself with the Nine of Pentacles because she's very independent and sovereign. So it used independently, but when you put the two together, flipping things around, this is not good because that can bring total destruction and death. Yeah, that's not good. Causes severe anxiety. So it's if you do mess with the two together, that's complete and utter chaos. But apparently in the past it was good because you have these beautiful cards.
In the past, it was good.
So something in the past, it was done used for beautiful things, and then of course nefarious reasons took it over and turned it into something nasty and ugly.
So they probably shut the portal down there.
That was that was a wrong pipe. Joe disappeared. That's why. My coffee sip.
Oh.
Oh no.
Hacking and gasping for air. Goes down the wrong pipe.
I think there may be more
I
to it.
thought it was entertaining.
I think there's a whole lot.
I can laugh about it now. Yeah, I can laugh about it now, but
Wow. I was afraid to drink my coffee now that you said.
yeah, I'll never drink that coffee again. Here I go. Okay.
Interesting. You wanted to know if it had been closed. It has. That was wrapped up a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also saying that there's more to it than that. The judgment means they're calling your attention to something else. There's something involved in it.
Is there another Stonehenge besides Michigan within the United States?
I'm sure there is.
Well, but okay, because I keep seeing, what is the ones in Mexico? Inca.
I'm thinking. What do you think about Mount Shasta?
Which one?
Is there more
I don't
than
know, but it just seems that like there's so many everywhere else. Just like the pyramids, is there more than we realize within the United States?
Well, there are pyramids in the United States, and I think there's one of a Stonehenge in the northeast section of the United States.
Well,
Maine.
if you're talking about megaliths,
No.
or Stonehenge itself.
I wonder if they're
Which one?
protecting them in these big national forests and make them federal property, and you can't go onto the
Ooh, I
land.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the Serpent Mound in Ohio.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So they're purposely hiding them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That makes a lot more sense. Okay.
Well, I know this doesn't pertain to what we're talking about, but I found it interesting that where I had my retreat in Donovan, Wisconsin, there were burial grounds for giants. And
Oh yeah, yeah.
I didn't know
Wisconsin.
until now.
You didn't
Not
go
right
anywhere?
here.
You didn't go anywhere?
I just went there and straight home, but if I would have known, I would have been over there.
I pulled a yes or no about others being in the United States. Yes, but it's funny. This represents the people because we're just little baby drippy drop pages. We can't handle that information. Here's your hoodwinked to trick the people
Uh-huh.
and to set boundaries so they can't see it. So, Dennis, it's all your fault, King of Cups.
Mhm.
Dennis
That's
is
right.
about
Just
that.
blame me.
But that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Can we also
National parks, yeah.
Can we
Mhm.
also do a 3-card spread on this question?
Okay.
Being Stonehenge was also part of the solstice. I found out that like Manhattan were considered megaliths, and downtown Chicago.
Okay.
And well, but Manhattan was a henge, is what you're saying.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure
but
that was
it's
understood.
connected to the solstice and all of that.
Wow. Yeah. They balance each other out.
Okay.
All the solstices when they come around, there's your infinity sign again as well. If people would put this information together when these solstices come around on the ley lines and they would do the old ancient ceremonies, you'd see stuff happen. But these are protected. These are absolutely protected.
Are they protected from us, or are they protected divinely?
To trick you, no, by
Oh.
mankind, rulers.
Okay.
They're keeping you out
Okay.
to cause confusion and to keep you out of there.
Yeah.
Well, we know if we ever figured out the full potential of our spiritual gifts, they would have no chance whatsoever. They've dumbed us down. Well, there's your deep state chaotic mess.
Yeah.
I have one question maybe then. Okay, are the it's meant to keep us away from them also. Okay, I understand that. So my question is, are these Stonehenge like structures wherever they're at, are they divine, or are they otherworldly, if you will?
You want to know if they're man-made or off-world?
I want to know if they if they're kind of like this is ancient, this is aliens, or this is divinity.
Right. Okay.
Spirituality, divinity, however you want to look at it.
Giants.
Giant fig leaves, apparently.
Well, no. Giant kitchen
Are we talking
table.
about like the Nephilim giants? Is that what we're talking
Well,
about?
I don't necessarily. To me, it's like, okay, is it one or the other? Not human, or divine. Is it?
Right.
Is it? I'm not getting anything else in between there. Regardless if man made them by direction of the two, the influence. Which is the influence?
I'm sure. My guess is it was divinely made, but hijacked.
Like everything.
Yeah. Divinely made, the high priestess.
Okay.
That's spirituality. So divinely made. Yeah. But it was all changed. They came and stole it. That's the thief from the collective. Yep. And this is us currently trying to manifest it back.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
One other question.
Mm-hmm.
Just a one card if you want. Pre-flood or not.
Oh, interesting.
That wasn't me. I don't know. I got pre-flood. So that's all.
Well, was that big head?
No, that was my guys. My guys.
Oh, okay.
You can hear the big head licking in the background if you. She's like tongue punching the bowl of water. Oh, it really bothers me.
I have a hard time with the pre-flood because if you go through all the timelines, I believe that David and Goliath, he was a Nephilim anyway.
One card pull. It was afterwards. The death card.
Okay.
Oh, it was the Stonehenges were after the
This is
pre-flood.
the death. After all the
Okay.
death, it was afterwards.
Yeah, I just, for me, it was pre-flood. Either way, just to ask. Although nothing would surprise me. I think there's. Okay, we see pyramids, we see monoliths. What's underneath the shit? I'm just saying I think there's pre-flood stuff.
Dirt.
But again, it wasn't necessarily. I don't know. I go with what
They told me to keep pulling cards that they're not happy with the way I read that, so I said okay.
Okay.
I
See,
said,
Nana.
they're bossy. They said no, keep pulling and don't do one cards. You don't normally do one cards. Keep pulling. Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking the flood wasn't completely of the
Now I
entire.
know. Now I know why.
Okay, give me the drum roll.
Next card. Now, nope. All this was pre-flood. They had to get them to surrender, so that's one of the reasons the flood came. They had to take that energy down, the negativity. Wow,
Interesting.
this is fascinating.
My guide's rock. That's all I'm saying.
Your guides are in here going because that's Rocco worried about the answer. I think that's funny. Taking the leap of faith, starting a new path and a new journey. So yeah, pre-flood, flood comes, removes it, and had to get them to surrender to it. So interesting.
That is
Wow.
interesting.
This is my final confirmation. That's my creator card.
Wow.
That's Abba coming in here going, I don't think so, and wiped it all out.
Divinity.
Wow,
Definitely
nice.
divinity. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be curious to know who taught man the ley lines. Because it didn't come up,
If
you
you
know.
could remember, we'd know.
Well, you were there with
saying.
me.
He was the one making
Yeah, I
the
was a little
line.
guy. Remember, I was the one going.
Well,
I'm
let's
hungry.
just put it this way. If we go back to the book of Enoch, if we've read it,
Mhm.
and we understand that what they call the Watchers or the Nephilim, or the fallen angels, supposedly from the negative side, are the
Mhm.
ones that taught mankind about how to make weapons and that kind of thing. So would they also be responsible for that as well?
I don't know, would they?
Well,
Could I ask?
I thought they said that the way they were figuring out ley lines from that book was that people would take their paths on foot based on the energy under their feet.
Interesting.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's
that is
interesting.
interesting.
So I'm going to ask if it's the fallen Watchers that taught this information.
So you didn't have to go far, did you?
Wow.
Yep.
You can't
And
pull just one card.
And it shocked mankind. I know they're telling me you got to pull more than that. It was shocking to us to learn this information. But it made man great leaders. Now that could be good or bad.
Yeah,
Great is in powerful,
powerful. Yeah.
Mhm.
right? Yeah. They've
Cool.
been trying to hold on to this information for a long time, though. And I think that they still have the answers, but it was stolen from us. They keep telling us about all that stuff that's hidden under tunnels and tunnels under the Vatican and all that information, whether it's the Library of Alexandria and everything that the true books of the Bible, not just the canonized version. I think
Which-
there's so much more to that.
So do you think, let's try another megalith.
Mm-hmm.
they were trying to continue to control that power by the Georgia Guidestones?
Oh yeah. I thought this was interesting. I thought he had a little spin on that.
Okay.
Well, the Georgia Guidestones, it's made from granite, but it's a frequency of 100 of fear. So were they trying to, is it on a ley line that is connected to other
Does it
energies?
bring down a vibration because of where it's at?
Yeah,
I
I
thought that
so
was
yeah.
So it's like, what do you call that? It's on golf carts. It makes you can only go so fast.
Speedometer?
Restrictor. It's something like
Regulator,
Oh, now he's getting into
well, yeah, it's a
restrictor plates.
regulator or a governor. Like in other words, it's
governor,
governor.
governor.
Yeah, there's how I can't think of the.
Well, in NASCAR, they're called restrictor plates.
Okay,
It's probably about the same thing.
left turn. I'm
Left
ready.
turn.
Left
Right turn,
turn.
Clyde. Right turn, Clyde.
You ain't no NASCAR fan, righty.
You don't do right on NASCAR, Dennis. Come on.
Well, you could, but
Yeah, I always go against the
Yeah,
grain.
it's
exactly.
called the
You're
wall.
getting the wall.
Well, you only do
Story
left.
of my life.
That was great, Jen. That was
Anyway.
great.
I'm always hitting the wall.
Another brick in the wall. I'm doing a little Pink Floyd.
Hey,
Wow.
don't do that.
I don't know what it is with this card today. It keeps coming up. So first card, big
Wow.
huge ace. Wow. That's a lot of energy to be fighting over.
Yep.
That's a lot. There's a lot of truth to that with the energy there. So the megalith. Okay, so see, it tells me the story. You're going to be shocked, apparently, if you dig a little bit deeper. Now that we know where to dig, where do you go? Because all the stuff, I mean, Google's not exactly trustworthy.
Yeah.
You can only dig down.
Although what I just recently got, I think I mentioned, I got a book written in 1860, but it's about a journey through Tartary between 1834, 35, and 36. Tartary. So I'm interested to see what this is. Like you're saying, we're getting all this, and I'm going to the old books. I'm trying.
You have to, like
Yeah.
the old Tartarian stuff.
I can't wait to do this.
Okay,
episode on that.
so ley lines, the megaliths, and the connection with them. It's supposed to. They were all originally supposed to be for the benefit of humanity. It's supposed to be celebration, and then it was all taken away to keep you beat down and tired and worn out. So in order to do that, it's the tower is just cause complete chaos, change the whole thing, and tear it down. So the ley lines, and how many people do you know besides our community talks about ley lines?
Right.
Is that something you don't hear about any of this stuff out in the normal public?
Yeah,
They
were
look at
the
you like you're crazy.
ley lines a gauge? In other words, you hit a certain level, like a move up, or I mean, what? Okay, we look at the ley lines. We know it's energy. We understand that, but there has to be something else to it. It just can't be just energy. Obviously, you can harness it and dampen it.
Frequency.
Yeah. So what is Jesus really?
Well, Jesus is there too, huh?
Bring on.
That's where
Yes.
the word came from. You know, God. But anyway, what I'm getting at is it like where it's for mankind.
I really believe
as we evolved.
I
don't
believe
know.
this has to do with time travel and portals. I really do, because the Fool card comes in, and that's starting a new path. It takes you on new paths. You could do like travel back and forth, but this is a giving and receiving thing. This has to come from two different ends. I don't know if this is how they moved stuff around to make it. I mean, I've read that Stonehenge was built by frequency, and it had to do with a musical frequency.
Mhm.
It was so much higher up there. I don't believe that they had scaffolding and horses carrying around 25-ton stones.
Well, they could do that, but not for 120 miles. They're not going to do that.
Right.
Yeah, it would have to be done by metaphysical means.
But could the music harness the energy? I mean, if you can continue the melody, wouldn't it keep
Actually,
harnessing the
can.
energy?
Well, yeah.
Rocco, do you remember when we were talking about the Dome of the Rock and the musical things?
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if that has to do with the same frequency, if it's an angelic frequency.
Ooh, I like that. Did you happen to see that show, King? And why not?
He's a little, Merlin's busy.
No, he was acting frozen because he was like, it's like my dogs. They close their eyes, like, I don't hear you yelling at me.
It's glitches, Dennis.
But no, there was.
What was
we
the
mentioned
question?
about the last show we did about Mecca and the Dome of the Rock. The prayers is lined out in what they showed me was it's lined out in a musical melody, and if you look through it, it kind of turns, but there's another frequency back there, and I just kept getting language of the angels, frequency,
Right.
So that's what she's talking about. In other words, a frequency of the angels to harness either the ley lines or different energies.
Right.
Like, do
Hey,
ley
you were
lines,
around, okay?
do ley lines have to be, do they act like tuning forks? Like, you have to hit them at a certain angle, or, what I'm saying, to get them to activate and a certain amount of people, does it have to be at the solstice? At that very moment?
That's probably true. If the Stonehenge is marked by solstices, more than likely, then that would come into play.
So it would have to. It's almost planetary alignment as well.
Yeah,
probably.
Along with frequency.
Yeah, I still see that Solomon's Temple. Know thyself. You're the key.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
eat or be eaten.
Constantly.
Well, it's funny that you keep doing that because I read once that is it Anunnaki who had one eye? There was or was it the?
Well, that was Cyclops.
Was it? Well, they had one eye.
Daryl.
Well, they had one eye, and they used a lot of frequency and the power of that one eye to live.
Oh, yeah. Not so much optical, but a combination of optical and
visual.
Yeah, and visual.
Aren't there different
energy.
Species? There's different species of Anunnaki, just like there's different species of the Greys,
right?
Yeah,
and reptilians. So
Different
maybe
races.
one of the species was just a Cyclops kind of thing.
Malevolent, yeah. So they would raise with frequency, but also with the third eye or the one eye.
Interesting. Well, I think most of us have read somewhere in a spiritual book that the angels in heaven, the seraphim, have eyes on their wings.
Yeah.
And then the four creatures at Father's throne are full of eyes as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I always wonder if that's tied in. We're always learning about the third eye and what it means. Eyes are very, very important. Along with frequency, music is very important. That's a heavenly thing as well. Mm-hmm. Just like the modern day music nowadays, and even the stuff crap on TV. I can't know how people listen to that stuff.
Excuse me, this is me potty run. Excuse me.
Okay, frequency is so crappy now. You can barely find music that is of a higher frequency.
Joe said that Orion has one eye. Is that a joke, Joe?
Orion has one eye.
Yeah, Orion. There's only one eye in Orion.
Okay.
That's our JoJo for you.
I took it serious. I'm like,
you're a goof. I'm like, wait, what? Are we talking about? Okay. All right, JoJo.
I got it.
Put JoJo in the corner.
She got me, I tell you.
Yeah, she got me too. And I'm like, wait, what?
So, okay. So, and then talking about another megalith, there's a stone. Oh, first of all, on the Stonehenge, did you know that on top, that top stone, there's a divot and a piece that goes on top. So it's not like it was just laid on top. It had to fit in that hole.
So
Just
it's
like-
kind of like a dovetail groove or something, and it has to actually lock into place.
Yes. So now you have to lift it. You can't just slide it on there?
Let's see if we can see it.
I don't know if you can enlarge it, but there's
No, I can't on this one. No.
all right. So let's say there's 3 stones on the top.
Mm-hmm.
There's one missing. You'll see little hole divots on
In
the
the 3,
half
yeah.
and on the 2.
I'm also looking at these little round balls that almost look like joints made for them to sit down on top of.
Yeah. Oh, I see that one way on the other side. Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. It's
Yeah.
almost like a lock and key mechanism.
Yes. And wow, were they very higher intelligence than what we can do now?
They lost their instruction manual on how to assemble it.
Well, that's why it's not done.
It's
then.
probably in your garage.
That's why it's not done. They
I see all those extra pieces lying around.
they always give you extra pieces. So
Those
so
are just extra parts.
so are you saying Stonehenge came from IKEA?
Oh gosh. It only takes 18 hours to put together.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I was saying, there's a stone of Tara in Ireland, and
Ireland?
Ireland.
Ireland, and it's amazing that is connected with Atlantis. That's what I
I think
read.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
things connected to Atlantis.
Atlantis seems to be going everywhere on this planet.
Yes, it's really
There's not a whole lot of talk about Lemuria, though.
No, there's not, and there should be, because I believe Lemuria is a whole lot older than Atlantis.
it is a lot older.
And I think it's probably the birthplace of all spirituality,
Yeah, I was
too.
going to say first
Mhm.
land.
Well,
First land.
that's the first thing that was written in Sanskrit was Lemuria.
Now, one of the interesting things I found about this picture is these, it looks like worn grass area, that the grass does not grow where the stones once stood.
Very
That
Yeah,
it
that's
looks
interesting,
dead
for sure.
all the time. I just found that interesting, which tells me it's still got an energy there.
Right.
But if we know that the energy is, what was it, 100 now? 100,
It's 110 now. Yeah.
110? Well, that's very low frequency. Nothing will grow.
Yeah.
So it would kill grass, because I believe everything living has frequency.
Yeah.
Everything has frequency.
Right.
So if it's that low now, that probably explains why the grass won't grow.
Go sit down. Go. Go.
Just my 2 cents. Okay. All right.
Excuse me.
All right. So what else did we want to ask? Did you had an Atlantean question? Did you want me to ask something about Atlantis?
Is Ireland a very high peak? So, is there a connection to Atlantis?
Okay.
It's called the Stone of Tara.
Ah.
Oh, Tyler.
From Ireland.
I'd like to make a comment here about Ireland.
All right.
Irish people are from Ireland.
Mhm.
Okay. Italian people are from Italy, not Italy. There's a lot of people out there that say Italian. It's Italy, Italian, Ireland, Irish. Personal peeve. Sorry.
And this redneck,
Alex.
is from West by God, Virginia. Okay. Just saying.
Well, I can handle Italian.
Yay, give
But I
it.
just like to say, then are Irish people from Ireland? Are they really Irish or are they Irish? I'm just saying.
So then you got India.
I don't know. It's all Greek to
India.
me.
Well, Dennis, since you were first here, you should have created a language we could all get along with saying. How about that?
Yeah,
I
and
did, but
what,
y'all
what
messed it up.
nationality was
We messed
They
it
have
up.
Adon?
their own.
What nationality?
What nationality
was
what?
Just saying.
was a Dom? What nationality? No flag. Just saying.
I had my own race.
Did you
And I
win?
lost every time.
You're gonna love this.
Yes, I will.
All right. So as far as understanding the connection with Atlantis, yep, it was all stolen. It was all stolen and taken and wrapped up. Yep. There's more to the story. Seven of Cups can represent illusion and trickery. It can also represent there's a whole lot more to the story than what we're seeing. In the past position, it tells us who's at fault. No,
Of course, yeah, right, yeah, okay.
I'm just saying. But the King of Cups, the cup cards are Atlantean cards. That
I'm
means
gonna
the
walk
leaders.
back into my corner now.
Yeah, that first sin was a whopper. That's all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say.
The cup cards are always my Atlantean cards because of the water system, but it means the leaders of Atlantis knew this information. But when it was taken down, it was all stolen. All right. Got a lot of repeat cards in here. Yep. But I get new beginnings coming, new path, and reconciliation with that information. That will come back. I don't know that it'll be in our generation. But
Everything that's been hidden will be made manifest.
Exactly. And that's what we're waiting on. Manifesting. Just sitting there waiting for the harvest. Wow. So yes, Atlantis is connected to a lot of that stuff. To Ireland. Ireland.
Ire.
Fascinating.
Land of ire. Ire.
I'm just curious. I'm going to pull cards real quick if we're going to find more information about Lemuria, if that's going to come out just as much as Atlantis is.
It has to.
Because Lemuria is so much older, then there's more to it. And Dennis, didn't you say that you believe that that's the beginning of spirituality?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Personally, I believe that's where the Native Americans and all the indigenous on the North and South America came from.
If you believe in and listen to the Hopi prophecies, they all sound very similar to Lemurian stories.
Yeah.
Yep.
Could you humor me on something? When you're done pulling?
I thought we were humoring you
I have a
throughout the
humorous
entire show.
question.
All right. Well, first card comes up is the sun. Yes, the truth will come back out. Interesting. So what we know of Lemuria, we're going to have to walk away from, because that's leaving the past behind you and starting a fresh new beginning.
Knowing the truth.
Yeah, me too. Well, it's apparently coming. Temperance is about being patient and waiting, because it will balance itself out, and for the enlightenment. Because the divine is going to help us do this, I believe. And yeah, truth and justice will prevail. We will learn the origins of this. And there's my Abba card.
Mm-hmm.
There's all these spiritual cards and finding balance with spirituality. Beautiful. And with the sun. So yes, all of the facts about Lemurian being spiritual and the foundation. When my Abba card comes in there, it tells me everything I need to know.
Do you have time, Jen? I didn't know what your time frame
Oh, I was
looking
going to
like.
give it a couple hours. So if we got
Okay.
10, 15 minutes, we can
Okay.
do that. I still got oracle cards and stuff.
Okay.
So,
I'd like you to ask this with the cards.
okay.
Humor him.
Humor me. Was Lemuria the Garden of Eden?
Ooh, interesting.
I think it's still there.
The Garden of Eden?
No, Lemuria. But I think
Underwater.
Are we talking
there's
about
the-
different dimension, different
Yes.
realm?
yes.
Uh,
I don't
Well,
think-
if we understand,
but
well, unless I'm
it seems that
misunderstood.
all the indigenous people tie themselves back to that land, and we call it Lemuria.
Well,
Or is it now in Middle Earth?
Or inner Earth, yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
let's at least rule it out or identify it. Lemuria.
Well, if I read it correctly, when Enoch during the flood was writing his book, he was placed safely in the Garden of Eden to write it why the flood happened. Was he put in a bubble?
Well, no, because he was before the flood, because he was Noah's grandfather.
Grandfather.
Right,
Right.
but he was taken before the flood. But no, there is something to the scribing within that garden. You're right. I don't know the exact wording of it, but yes, because he was scribing for close to what we consider 300 years, roughly.
Yeah, he didn't just sit down and write one letter and
No, it
done
was
it in an hour or so.
right.
Hmm.
I didn't get anything strong on this, but I just want to rule it out.
I'm not getting. Yeah, this is confusion and illusion with the moon card. I'm not getting that. That doesn't
Okay.
ring a bell.
Makes sense.
And then this is just not knowing this is fear of the unknown, and then that's just strategy. There's more to it than that. And of course, yeah, I hear him laughing. Creator is laughing. He says, "I have the victory. Don't worry about it."
Mhm.
I'm like, really?
The
Okay.
guard was on Maldeck.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Okay.
Let's see.
I just thought it was an
said-
interesting premise. Like I said, I didn't have nothing strong on it, but let's rule that out.
Well, I asked him. I said, "Well, are we gonna eventually know?" And I got the sun card. So yeah. I guess it's just not one of those important things right now.
Mhm.
There's so many different realms and dimensions we can't even figure out, let alone the rest of them. But
Yeah, but we're gonna fix the climate, sure. Okay. Chew. A chew.
Those allergies with the climate there, Jay.
Bravo, Sierra.
Exactly.
the base card on that is Wheel of Fortune. Everything that you know will flip upside down, so it will balance itself out. We will have victory for the actual answers, but it's on his timing, and I know that.
Oracles.
Before we do the oracles,
Uh-oh.
where are we traveling to next week?
Pick a portal, any portal.
Okay, well, let's go for this maybe. Speaking of megaliths or monoliths, Lot's wife. I would love to do Petra, maybe the Dead Sea, land of Lot. If you guys are
I'm okay.
interested.
I'm pretty much where do anything.
Because she's a monolith. I mean, I was in Jordan and I could see her driving. You could see this giant person up there.
She was driving?
I was driving.
Oh.
She actually
Lot's wife was,
for me.
yeah, his wife was still driving it.
Yeah, she could drive a clutch too. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, actually she stood still, Dennis. It was amazing. So you could
I have
actually
a picture of her when she got out of the car. She was waving.
Yeah. Do you have the size on that? I know it's way more than what we think it is.
she was tall.
But I'm saying, is there an actual measurement of the size of that?
I'll
I
get
didn't know
to
if you came across it.
No, I'll get to it. I just wanted to
It's
put
not
this,
6. I mean, it's not 5'2".
You have a
You
week.
know, and yeah, it's not 6 foot. It's taller. I
not
know.
in Italy, Jay. It's
Well, if we are going to dive into a little bit of Lot's wife, I want to do a little bit on Sodom, that modern day Sodom and Gomorrah.
yeah.
Because
Yeah,
it's
but I
still
don't want
burning
to dive
to
into
this
Lot's
day.
wife.
What was that?
I don't want to dive into Lot's wife. She's a little too old for me.
Well, it'd be a little hard.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Well, I don't know. It's probably salty too.
You know?
Probably kind of has an odor of sulfur. It's not gonna.
Like your beard, Dennis.
Okay,
All right.
here-
I got a
real quick,
I got a
Dennis. Okay,
brand.
let me, so you can understand this theory.
Mhm.
Okay, when I say I'm good looking, you see this.
Mhm.
Okay, then I say, I'm. It's not that I'm good looking. I can cook, and then it's like Fabio. You know what
There
I
you
mean?
go.
It's like, see, it adds a little bit. I went up a solid point. That's all.
Okay, I got it.
There's another
I
side.
thought that you wouldn't grow your beard because it never matched your moo, but that's okay. I
Now,
mean,
I hate facial hair. I really do. I hate it.
So do
I
I.
think
It just bothers me. I mean, even when I get like a little bit of a shadow, it bothers me. I grew it once out for my first wife. Hated it. So yeah, just
all right.
not for
So
me.
next week we will dig in a little bit to Lot's wife, modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, and
When
Petra.
you say modern day Sodom and Gomorrah,
Hmm.
can you narrow that down for me? Because that is vast.
It is vast. The desolate area that exists today that's still burning. I'll send you something that I've been deep diving into.
Okay, not the one in Pennsylvania.
Southeastern side of the Dead Sea.
So
Yeah.
are we adding the Dead Sea also?
We can touch on a little bit of it. There's so much. It's
Yeah,
hard
you're going to be
to
dancing
out.
around it.
So yeah, it's all going to dance around each other. So just get the highlights because
Okay,
we'll be here
because-
for a month.
I thought that it was inverted. Where Lot was, the whole thing was inverted into the Dead Sea. So, of Sodom and Gomorrah, it's under the Dead Sea. That's what I was told. But
Oh.
we're going
Well,
to
maybe a portion of it was, but I know there's a portion now that is pure burning sulfur that still
Yeah.
exists to this day. You can go and dig the sulfur bowls out of the rock.
History Channel had a special on that.
Yeah. That you can actually do that. So yeah, we can we'll go into that next week. So if you guys want to join me for that. All right. So you want to do oracles? Let's see where spirit stands with the collective this week. Well,
lecture.
some lecture. All right. Let me pull this up here. All right. So angel of abundance this week is no more complaining. Well, okay.
Dennis.
Yeah. Well, it actually sounds like modern day world in certain generations right now. Complaints are affirmations of victimhood, which is never true spirituality. Take back your God-given power by affirming that you have an abundance of choices and freedom. With your increased confidence and assertiveness, watch these positive affirmations bloom into reality. There is a whole lot of victimhood out there today.
I get no respect.
No respect.
No respect at all.
Why don't you just cast a little spell, Merlin? You'll be all right. All right.
Instead of moving
Do no
stones,
harm.
instead of busting stones and moving stones, that's all I'm saying.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay. Our archangel this week is Archangel. I don't remember if we've had him or not. Archangel Jeremiel. If I'm butchering that name, I'm sorry. Learn from your challenges, relax, and trust. Yeah.
Enjoy your journey. Embrace your journey.
Yeah. He's the angel of hope who supports your visions and dreams, though not always in the way you expect. Well, who'd have thunk that? Challenges are the means by which we all change and grow. Archangel Jeremiel presents you with them, then helps you to see them from the enlightened perspective. This enables you to clear out old beliefs and ego blocks and forgive others. Well, doesn't that sound familiar? All right. When you do this, your heart opens and you can empathize with people and find compassion. I'm working on it. And as you let go of the past, you can embrace new possibility. Jeremiel vibrates on a deep purple amethyst collar, and when you are ready, he brings you blessings to inspire and motivate you, enabling your transitions to be more harmonious. Well, I'm working on it. He needs to come around more often. Just saying.
Pop in and say hi.
Yeah. All right. So your chakra oracles, apparently we've got people out there that are hiding because these two cards keep coming up: isolation and dissipating. trying to keep to yourself and don't want to be a part of the world, well, heck, I do that. But not completely, because I come on here and talk to you fine folks.
Mhm.
So, but people are hiding and becoming hermits. They don't want to get out and deal with people, or maybe they're just stuck in their own reality, in their own world. Very many people in 3D. So that's, to me, if you stay with that mindset, that's also considered isolation and dissipating. If you don't open and broaden your mindset as well. And then the final card, have some faith. Have some faith.
I'm my own comic.
Believe in your creator and your angelic spiritual support and your guides, even your higher self. You know, we've got to do that a little bit easier. But I do believe that isolation and dissipating is not just a physical thing. I think that's a spiritual and a emotional mindset as well.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So that is your oracles for this week.
Awesome.
Thank you guys for joining me.
Mhm.
This was
And
wonderful.
Thank you for inviting me.
It was
Oh, I hope you come back. We didn't scare you off too bad, did we?
Yeah.
Jeez, it takes a
I-
whole lot to scare me off.
I was
Merlin.
hoping this would jar your memory on some of these things.
I know.
I was really hoping for that.
I wish Dolores Cannon was still here. We could put him under.
Oh yeah.
That would have been good, you know.
That
But
would've
you
been
know, her
good.
daughter does the same thing. If you want to
Oh,
invite her,
okay.
well, that would take over 2 hours, I think.
Just 2 hours?
yeah, it would probably take you about 5.
Yeah. Years, maybe.
Well, because it's not only Adam. I still go before that too.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. All right. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to everybody in the chat. We don't try to ignore you. I'll go back and watch the replay once it
it's
pops
hard to
back
see
up.
the chat. Yeah.
It's
to see the
hard
chat
when you're
when
trying to
doing this, yeah.
concentrate on
It
things.
is. But hopefully we've given you a little snippets and you guys
Yeah.
can go deep dive and
Yeah.
find your own truths.
Yeah, the idea is just to give you just kind of the highlights, give you a little bit of where to start, and then you guys can take it from there.
Yeah.
We don't claim to be experts, but we sure are deep diving into some stuff we're curious about, and I don't think there's anything wrong with asking questions.
Mhm.
Okay? All right, so until
love you
next
guys.
time,
Thank you.
love and light, some all that good stuff. I will see you Friday night at 7 for our evening show. All right?
All right.
Love y'all.
Awesome.
Love you.
See you guys.
All right. See you tonight.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.